So last week, Paramount Plus decided to drop a new trailer for their Halo TV series, and I have to say, as a Halo fan, I'm concerned. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things that I really liked, such as the Master Chief's armor, the guns maintaining their original look from the video games, the Covenant and UNSC ships look perfect, and the Jackals and Elites look really good. But there were things I thought were off that were very noticeable, such as the AK-47 that looks like it's straight out of the Vietnam era. You have the 2001 Chevy Tahoe that has been memed on so hard that there's now a Halo 3 mod where you can do the final Warthog run, but in a Chevy Tahoe. You also have the Elite armor. While shape-wise looks really good, it's lacking color and elegance that really sets the Elites apart from just being these regular bad guy aliens. Like in the game, you have a lot of different colors that tells the viewer how much of a threat they are and what their role in the Covenant is. And that gives them a sense of depth and gives a sense of culture that wouldn't be there if they're just wearing the same thing. Also, we have Master Chief, who sounds different, and I don't like this voice for Master Chief. I know he sounded different in some animated work. He's sounded different in Forward Unto Dawn, and I still thought he sounded like the Master Chief in all of that. But in this show, I think that whatever they did or whoever is voicing Master Chief doesn't sound like Master Chief to me. Also, we have Cortana, who looks way too human. She has always been iconic, whether she's been pink or blue. And by trying to humanize her, they've taken away from her character a little bit. I don't think they should have made her like very human. I don't know why they even did it. If it was to make her more relatable, Star Wars has made us relate to droids that don't even have facial expressions. And Disney and some other movies have made us relate to inanimate objects. So I don't know why a humanoid AI like Cortana should have been like a concern for them. They should have just made her blue, or even better yet, make her pink, because a lot of sci-fi stuff has blue characters where all computer technology and all AI, all artificial anything that has technology is blue. So having her pink would have actually made her stand out a lot and made her look very iconic, noticeable, and just it would have felt very Halo and unique. I mean, she started out pink, so it would have been returning to the roots anyway. And there's even people that like already edited her to look pink or blue, and as you can see, it fits a lot better in my opinion. But then there are a lot of things narrative-wise that they present in this trailer that don't feel Halo to me, such as Halsey saying Master Chief is upgradable and controllable, and someone else questions whether Master Chief can be trusted or not. It's not Halo. Halo has never been, oh, Master Chief can be upgradable and we can control him as a soldier. Maybe that was the point early on, but that was never presented as the main Halo, like, contention point. Yes, can Master Chief be upgradable? Yes, he is, and especially in Infinite he now is, but it was never the focus. It was never let's upgrade and control Chief. He was always a symbol of hope. He was an icon. It was never can we trust Master Chief? It was we do trust Master Chief. When Master Chief appeared, everybody respected him. Everybody looked up to him. He was a symbol that humanity can move past the Covenant War and actually come out of it alive. So I don't know why they were like really going for that angle. It doesn't feel organic, especially coming from Halsey, who has been one of the people that have really admired Chief and kind of was like a mother figure in a weird, twisted kind of way. Also, Chief touches some Forerunner tech, and they treat it like Mass Effect, where Shepard touches the Reaper technology, and it awakes something in him. And I don't know what they're really going to do with that angle, but again, like, it doesn't fit. All right, it's not Halo. It felt very Mass Effect-y. It doesn't feel like what Forerunner technology does in the Halo universe. There's also a human who seems to be working with the Covenant, which goes against all the values of the Covenant. They're this like religious zealot group who hates humanity, who is a bit jealous of humanity, and have only interacted with humanity to either kill them or to use them to achieve their goals. And when they use them like a tool, like a straight up tool to activate Forerunner technology because they can't. So having her as a weapon who was raised at by the Covenant, it again does not feel Halo. And then you also have other smaller things, like there are multiple Spartans, which that could be cool or maybe not. And then Halsey also mentions that Spartans were made to fight the Covenant, which again, just whatever. If they're changing it, okay, it's not that big of a deal, but it still feels like they're getting rid of a cool opportunity they could have had to flesh out the Halo universe, which is already written there for people. They also use the song "Coming Into the Air" by like Phil Collins, or "In the Air Tonight." I forgot what it's called, but they use that song instead of any of the iconic, beautiful Halo music. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Phil Collins and I like the song. It's just not a Halo song. It doesn't represent Halo, and we have the most iconic, like when Halo music plays, people that don't even play Halo like it and they recognize it, and instead of using that to introduce the mass public to like Halo and the feel of Halo, the sound of Halo, they use Phil Collins, which just makes me feel like they don't understand Halo. So I know that they've gone out and said that this is a new timeline and that they're going to be mixing and changing the story and taking a different direction. And I'm usually open to changing things and adapting content to match different mediums. But I think when adapting something, especially when it will be the introduction of a beloved franchise to a whole new set of people, you should keep the elements that makes the original work so well and make it loved and iconic, and I just don't see any of that here. It seems like they were mostly able to adapt the look of Halo, but not the narrative and feeling / tone and the direction of Halo. I think the series might very well end up like the Cowboy Bebop live action, which flopped even though it looked pretty solid. They had good actors, they had good props, they had a talented team, but it still fell apart because they didn't know how to properly adapt the story and what narratively made Cowboy Bebop. I think instead of this project, maybe they should have done ODST, like an ODST series, which has already sort of been done with like a live action trailer that they did in like 2009, which still looks better than this Paramount project in my opinion. Or if they wanted something to really jumpstart the Halo universe and still like kind of weave into the main Halo, like the mainline Halo story, they should have adapted Reach into a show. Like, it could have been a really dark and attention grabbing start to the franchise that introduces a lot of the elements of Halo while leaving us with a really big impact, which would be losing Reach and losing Noble Six, which would have left the audience feeling connected, feeling like they had a stake in this war, feeling like they lost something, and we could have gone from there. But that's what I think. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Tell me, what Halo project would you like to have seen on the big screen or are hoping to still see? And let me know if you're going to watch this Halo TV series. I know I'm still going to watch it out of curiosity. I'm just not expecting it to be Halo at this point. Peace.